Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei. Today, before we get into today's video topic, two things. First, let me quickly, guys, splurge on some winter rod, wee. Anyways, today's video topic is this, but it's the winners of 2024 Minecraft event. However, before we get into this, I finally remembered to mention this early. I would like to do a Q&A for Daily December. Leave your questions down below, just in the comments. Make sure to make it obvious that it's for the Q&A and not in regards to today's video topic. If you want to talk about today's video topic, leave 2 comments. I don't care. Do whatever you want. You can also put it in 1. I don't know. But I'm going to do a Q&A. So leave your comments or questions, and I will answer them in a video this week. 1 month soon. At some point. Anyways, today's video topic is about a sheet that was released a few days ago, where someone, GOAT moment, GOAT community member, had some type of tracking to figure out who the best Minecraft event players are of 2024, and the results are in on this sheet. There's a lot to look at, and it might be really hard to read because it's, tiny text. However, the conclusion is, from this list, that based off of RPR, which I don't know what RPR is. I think it's supposed to be like gap in like top placements, or like however they want to. It's like based off of your like consistency. I don't know. Based off of some metric that they made up that relies on some sort of consistency somewhere. I don't know if this is, no, they don't have like the formulas somewhere that calculate this. This is just raw data put in. Either way, based off of the numbers we got, the best players are as follows. Toph at number 1, Kalen at number 2, Kel at number 3, Fine at number 4, Sandwich number 5, then Nair at number 6, Shane 7, Sam 8, SMK 9, and Ubby 10. Now you might be very confused or intrigued as to why this roster, or this list more so, is so like Origins player heavy. And that's because I'm fairly sure from the little discussions I've had with some of the people that are on this list from the Origin side, or mainly just a friend group that happens to be, a mix of blockwars and Origins and whatever type of players. Apparently there's weighted events in which, specific events are harder than other events, like PB being harder than Block Wars, for example, right? So that type of stuff is weighted more. I don't know if Origins and Main Event are weighed equally, or if there's a difference in that. I also don't know what's weighed exactly. Also, obviously, a large portion, if not the majority, of these people are not MCC players. There are 2 to be exact. Technically 3 if you count Sandwich's 1 participation this year, but Fine and Shane are the only actual MCC players on this list, which I feel like MCC is kind of the main one to look at. I understand that, like, it's really cool to look at other events, and, like, maybe if someone pops off in, like, Minecraft Mania or something, right? Cool, that's that's good to factor in, and if that's hard, then cool, that's good to factor in. But MCC is kind of, the golden standard. So seeing a list of best Minecraft event players, and then it's just, like, the people who, obviously they are really good, and I can't deny that if these people played at MCC, they would probably smoke everyone. It's a little silly to look at in terms of, like, there's a lack of, the content creator MCC representation that you would expect on a list like this. Either way, the list continues much further down, because in 11th you got Purple, then Carter, then Cloud, FaZe, Pickles, Morgan, etc, etc, etc. And I'm on this list too. And one thing that I thought was very interesting in terms of this list was to see who won and who's like the biggest winner, right? Because, previously in MCC, the GOAT debate was determined by whether someone won a lot. For example, when the GOAT debate was between Sapnap and Purpled, despite Purpled having the better average, people said Sapnap's better because he's got 7 wins. I don't agree, but sure, if you want to use that metric, then that could be, that could be fair. If that's what you want to decide, sure. Which leads to the following thing, and I'd like to analyze this a little bit because I think it's very interesting. The actual GOAT debate, settle it right now. The actual GOATs of the year are as follows. Me, 5up, Feinberg, and Sneak Snag. Why? Because we have won every single one of the big 3 events in 2024. Not every single one, but we have won at least one MCC, one Block Wars, and one Pandora's Box this year. I actually, scoop above that, have won 3 PBs this year, which is unheard of compared to last year and the year before and however long before, when I was the biggest loser, the Captain Sparkles of PB, you know? The longest loser, the most notable longest loser of PB, has won 3 times this year, even including the major biggest one, which is why Sneak is on this list now, because Sneak was on my team for that, and Sneak's won Block Wars like twice, I think, this year, and won MCC once, I think, this year, if I remember correctly. Actually, we'll go over everything, whatever, right? But one thing that's very interesting to look at is the overlap in players that have won being extremely small, and also seeing some people in unexpected tiers, right? So let's go from top to bottom. Won all 3. Me and 5UP obviously won MCC together. I won PB 3 times, which was with Feinberg 1 time, which I think is his only PB win of the year. Then there was 1 time where I won PB with Babalu and the gang and Charlie. And then there was 1 time I won PB with Sneeg and Fruit and Zam, which, that's the 3, and then with Block Wars, I also won with Feinberg. So I won with 5UP 1 time, and then with Feinberg 2 times. So, you know, that's kind of a cool combination, I guess, of the GOATs of winning all together. Then 5UP won Block Wars at the start of the year in January, I think Block Wars 10. So that's how he's on here, and he won PB most recently, literally the most recent PB he won, so he's now also a triple winner. Fine won the first MCC of the year. Obviously, like mentioned, he won PB and Blockers with me, so those count as well. And then Sneeg won the Rookies 2 and Chaos Block Wars this year, and then won PB Dragon Pit and MCC Twitch Rivals San Diego, the NA one this year. So there you go. That's all the big 3 winners. Then past that, we have Ant and Hannah, who are interesting to see here because they won the most recent Block Wars together, the Block Wars Charity Challenge on Twitch Rivals. And then also in terms of MCC, Hannah won Pride and maybe another one. I know she at least won Pride. And then Ant won the most recent event, which was Party 2. So that's how they're landed on here. Zam is potentially the most interesting example here, because Zam, I think, out of any Minecraft event, is most notable for being in Block Wars. However, he's won MCC and Pandora's Box. He won MCC Rising and then PB Dragon Pit, which might be the most insane thing. I think mine might be the most insane, or fine maybe, but mine's probably the most insane considering I won PB 3 times, including Dragon Pit, finally won main event Block Wars, and then got in MCC and surprisingly won. So that's probably the most insane. I know I'm, talking about myself, but if we're being honest, that's probably the most unexpected result of the year. But Zam has got to come in probably very close in at least, top 5 maybe unexpected results of the year, because he was barely active in PB, if not really just inactive in PB throughout the entire year. And then MCC, I mean, he was requested, but who would have thunk that Prince Zam was going to be MCC Rising 3 surprise application appearance and then win on top of that, which is crazy, right? So that's the one MCC in PB. There's only one. I also, by the way, technically, I think if you include Origins and stuff, you're going to have some other people who've won, like, PB and, like, Block Wars. Before I get into the next one, I only considered the big 3 in terms of, like, main event players, and for Block Wars, obviously MCC is its own thing, and then for PB, I mainly just looked at Ascension, but because PB split halfway through, I only really grabbed the people from Ascension that are in other events or were able to be considered, plus Kalen. He's on there too, I guess. Anyways, continuing forward, potentially the funniest tier is the one with Purpled in it, who has won Block Wars and PB, but not MCC, which I think is hilarious, honestly. That's really funny. Also, I saw someone tweet out the screenshot of who I'd like to team with the MCC, list, I have the one with purpled where it says must end the suffering of Dodgebolt L's for society to be like restored or something, and it got a bunch of likes. So yes, thank you for tweeting that. I like it when my funny brain gets funny updates on the internet. Thank you. Anyways, purpled won the first Block Wars of Series 3, which was Block Wars 11, and he won PB with me. I think as his first PB as well. There you go. That's the wins. Must say, potentially the Mickiest appearance on this list. If I'm being completely honest, this might be the most Mickey appearance on this list. He won, let's see, in order, PB on potentially the most broken team of all time, and then Block Wars on potentially the most broken team in recent history for Block Wars. So Mickey Mouse Clubhouse member number 1, purpled Minecraft. Anyways, now it's interesting because we get to the list of people that have only won one event, or at least one unique event. You know, only one MCC, only one Block Wars, only one PB. And you're gonna see some appearances here that are very unexpected, especially when you think about it at the start of the year. Seeing some people on here is a very big surprise. Chilled Chaos, like, huh? I also think Kara was someone who hadn't won in a long time, so seeing Kara on the list is very nice. I think Pearl either got her first win or one of her first wins this year. I think she's won twice, so that's very impressive as well. A fun showing. Obviously, Jeremy with Twitch Rivals EU making a unexpected surprise appearance, which is always very fun. Scott, obviously, as per usual, usually ends up winning an MCC in a year. I think he's also won twice, so that's very fun as well. Then I don't know if Becky had won before this year. I think Becky got her first win, I think, as well, which is very awesome, of course, very nice. I might be missing someone getting their first one, by the way. I apologize in advance. Ashwag appearance. Ashwag appearance is kind of funny. Also, one thing that is very, very interesting is Shadoon. Shadoon, I think, has been like one of the most dominant players in terms of winning or doing well in MCC this year, but he has not won Block Wars or PB, despite being in, I think, at least 2 or 3 of both. He's been in Block Wars a few times this year, and PB, I think, like 3 times. So, interesting to see Shadoon be so dominant in MCC, but then when it comes to other events, you know, it just fell short just a little bit. But a very impressive showing, of course, for MCC. Furthermore, Abe making a surprise return, of course, and winning, which is very cool. I think Ant Venom getting his first win of the year, which is very fun. I think Gucky maybe got their first win as well, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure, actually. Jordan, obviously, always seeing Jordan win an MCC is always notable. That's gotta always be, you know, looked at like, oh, interesting. I think Jordan's on track to become a 5-time winner as well, which is just insane considering how big of a deal it was for him to win his first MCC. You know, which I think was with Purpled, so embarrassing for Purpled, I guess, you know. Also seeing Haley on air is obviously very cool because Haley, prior to this, was someone who I don't think was really considered for MCC much, but obviously she made her surprise debut as like a sub for Abe at the time, and won. Obviously the team was obviously very good, but still very impressive showing, and it definitely showed that, you know, she has the potential to really perform in Minecraft events. She kind of proved herself getting like top 10 on her first MCC, and I think she'll be able to pop off, but you know, further throughout 2025. Considering she played in Party 2, it'll be fun to see Haley potentially in, you know, a lot for next year, because she's good friends with Scott, so she'll probably get some bias to get in. You know, it's a nice little cherry on top, I guess. Either way. And then finally you have Gem and Impulse, some further Hermit rep, I should say. Always fun. Then one Block Wars is such an interesting tier because it looks like it's a really, I mean, not looks, it is a very diverse group of people. But some of the people that are on this tier specifically are a little surprising. Had you looked at these 3 events at the start of the year and thought, which one of these 3 events would H-Bomb or Joel or Jimmy win? I don't think people would have said Block Wars, but guess what? It did end up happening. So I think that's really funny seeing, you know, a bunch of really notable MCC players, or at least a handful of notable MCC players, only win block wars this year. Very interesting. Obviously, for the rest, you see a bunch of variety representation. Joe getting, I think, 2 wins this year, back-to-back as well, alongside Handsome and Sneeg, which is very cool. Shane, Shane's only Minecraft event win this year out of the major 3 events is Block Wars Chaos, which you could also say was Mickey Mouse. So the fraudulent S tiers, Purple and Shane, repping themselves this year, doing fantastic, obviously. Hey, I'm just saying, man, if you were up in the GOAT debate against Sapnap, you'd be losing. They'd be saying, well, you didn't win anything besides the Mickey Mouse events, so you're bad. Which I think, obviously I'm just kidding, but that's really funny to look at. Furthermore, you have Cam was on the really strong team with Anthos and Giga and Purple and May. Sorry. Which, interesting. And then obviously, furthermore, just in terms of interesting appearances, I mean, Doki Bird being a very hyped up newcomer appearance. Obviously, cool to see her win at Block Wars. Sleepy and Rain ending their suffering. Holy moly. And then obviously some Send Win appearance there as well. Send Win with John coming back after a little while, and then Zekit making his debut, and Shiro as well. Very fun. And then SK from Overwatch, the last unique new winner for Block Wars. And then finally, looking at PB, I mean, this one is really interesting as well. Similar to Shadoon in MCC, exclusively winning MCC and nothing else. Fruit in PB has won, I think, 3 events back-to-back and has no win in MCC or Block Wars. Block Wars not as surprising considering his teams haven't been the most, dominant. But MCC, shocking. Honestly, sorry. Really shocking to see that Fruit only won PB. And not just only won PB, won it 3 times, which is insane. Also, Callum being here is really funny. I think Callum was won the event alongside Caitlyn, Fruit, and Lucky. So yeah, it's a very fun appearance too. And I think, notably as well, Chief here. I also just realized I missed some people. I'm so sorry, I missed some people. My teammates from PB, X-Shatter and Andres. Hold on, are they even on this list? Oh god, oh boy, I'm so sorry guys, I forgot them. There you go. They also won PB, sorry, forgot. But they've only won PB this year. So, yeah, very interesting. Anyways, and Kyle, I think, won 2 PBs back-to-back this year as well, which is very, very cool. Anyways, that's the winners of the major 3 events. I probably missed somebody, clearly. Sorry. Anyways, probably missed one. I apologize if I did. Who do you think is going to become someone who might win one of all 3 major events next year? Who do you think has it in them? Who do you think might become a newcomer for MCC or Block Wars or PB from other events to potentially be able to do this, performance? I have no clue. I think it's interesting, and I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what 2025 will hold, because the results for 2024 are not what I expected at all, especially me. Had you told me at the start of the year that I'd be winning every single major event once, the big 3 at least, I would have been like, I mean, maybe, but probably not. So, cool. Just seeing the list of 4 people up top here and seeing who they are is such an interesting mix of emotions and opinions. Me, very surprising. 5-Up is I mean, I guess he's in all 3 events, so technically possible, but wow, still wow. Then Fine, it's yeah, of course Fine was going to win a Block Wars, and, Fine winning a PB, sure, I guess. But MCC didn't even think he was going to be in MCC, and then he won his first one, and then got, not nearly a strong of a team afterwards, but still, very impressive showing. And then Sneeg, I think, is just crazy. Sneeg's been on such a dominant run this year. So seeing Sneeg in the tier of winning all 3 events, and, people might argue that, oh, Dragon Pit, dude, in Dragon Pit, he outfragged me. I think he deserves that one, 100%. It's crazy. It's crazy seeing Sneeg there, too. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. I don't want to yap for too long, because some people have been complaining that I yap for too much. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Leave a question for my Q&A. Thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye.